Greetings, greetings, greetings. We're back here. Another special edition of Run Tell That. And you know, all our shows are all special. This is a special show, right? This is a special show because I got some of the family in the house. Got some of the family. They in the house. Woo, woo, we got in the house. Whoa. And I got to say this to y'all. Let y'all know this right here. I'm let y'all know. Y'all got to share this right here. They had the audacity. They had the audacity to envision a school. They had the audacity. Oh my God. Oh my God. We talk about this type of stuff, but they had the audacity to carry on the legacy of our ancestors right now. And that's what we're here for tonight. Run Tell That. Glad to have family in the house. We got Reverend Dr. Lorinda King in the house. Bam. And woo, in the house. Then we got the director, Erica Ulysses, in the house of the school. In the house.
Hi.
Then we got the elder Consuela Harmon in the house. Bam.
Hey.
And we say to all y'all greetings and to all the Run Tell That family. We say greetings to all of you. And glad to have you here. And I'm let y'all know, we just going to go ahead and flow into it. So this is what we're going to do. Question I always have to post this. Who are you? So we're going to start with Lorinda. Who are you?
I am.
Who is you? Who is you?
I am a graduate of Savannah State University. Woo! Go Tigers!
Yeah.
But I am Dr. Lorinda King. I am a citizen of Savannah, proud citizen of Savannah, proud graduate of SSU, and I'm many things: I'm an apostle, prophet. What else? Mary Kay director. An elite executive with Mary Kay, which is how I funded the school, and a wife, a mother, a citizen. I said that already.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My sister, the great one right here. And so we now going to go on to Sister Erica. Who is you? Who are you?
Well, I'm Erica, of course. I'm a FAMU and alumni.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it in Savannah. So why you gotta look like that?
I'm frozen right now. I'm frozen.
I have to represent. Look, I gotta represent. I'm sorry, I gotta represent.
We need to get started. See, and I was gonna be nice, but go ahead. We ain't gonna interrupt you no more. Go ahead, sister. It's fine.
Well, I'm of course the director at Remnant Kinship Academy. I'm also a Mary Kay director as well. I'm a student. I'm going to school right now. Was pursuing my doctorate, and yeah, that's me.
All right. Now, Sister Consuela, who are you?
Hello, I am Elder Consuela Harmon. I am just many things. I went to Savannah State as well, graduated. Go Tigers, you can get anywhere from there, as you can see. I'm also pursuing my doctorate in educational leadership with emphasis in special education. I'm a mother of 5, wife, and my husband is actually a director in Mary Kay, First Man in Georgia. And so I help him with that. and I'm assistant director here at RKA. And hello, everybody.
So I'll share this with y'all. It's usually a question I ask at the very end. But see, people began to push me. They try to push me. So I got to go ahead and ask a question right now. I have to go ask a question. What is the best high school in the entire country? And you must get it right. You must get it right. The best high school in the entire country. And Sister Consuelo, we saw with you first. The best high school in the entire country.
The best high school?
Best high school in the entire country.
I would have to say Remnant Kinship Academy. It's the best high school.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Hands down.
Okay.
Hands down.
Okay.
For sure.
So, Sister Erica, what is the best high school in the country?
I gotta say Remnant Kinship Academy. I mean, hands down again.
Okay. And Sister Lorenda, Reverend Lorenda, Pastor Lorenda, what is the best high school in the country?
Run, tell that. RKA.
Oh,
tell that in the city and in the state.
Oh, see now everybody out there, the Run Tell That family, they all happy that y'all said that. I had said to myself, I said, when I ask this question, that's what they're probably gonna say. But I got to other people out there, nah, see, that applies to them. The rest of y'all know it. Y'all see it, HBJ. It said Heavens B. Jenkins High School. The name was changed to Heavens B. Jenkins High School. We did that last month. Heavens B. Jenkins High School. So, but Remnant is, and I have to go say this, Julius Hall, you can't use that anymore. I'm going to let you know that. You can't. We use it right now on this show. It is Remnant at Heavens B. Jenkins High School. So, okay. So now we're going to move on again. So I'll see y'all get that answer right. But we're not going to come down to, because we got some people watching and some people misguided. Now I ask this question formally. What is the best university in the entire country? And we'll start with Sister Erica. Get it right, please. Please get it right.
Okay, I'm so glad you asked me first. Of course, Florida A&M University, FAMU, located in Tallahassee, Florida. Personal graduate and alumni. Nothing else to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Represent Erica.
You see I'm frozen, right? You see I'm frozen. That is the wrong answer. That is the wrong answer. We don't care about no 7 hills here. No 7 hills. No strike again. See, Dr. Tanya Havahall gonna like that right now, but it ain't about all that right now. Ain't about that right now. So I'm gonna go to people who gonna get it right. I will go to people who get it right. So I'm gonna go to Sister Consuelo. What is the best university in the entire country? What that matter for the entire world?
Representing that blue and orange, that Savannah State, baby.
Yeah.
You already know.
Because the colors for Run Tell That are blue and orange, and it's a reason why. Bam, that's right. So now, Pastor King, what is the best high school? And you are able to see, you have vision. So what is the best high school? Best university in the entire world?
In the entire world, it got to be SSU, Savannah State University, the home of the lionesses and the lions, the tigers that roar. We eat snakes for lunch.
And guess what? The second president of FAMU came from Savannah State. The second president of FAMU came from Savannah State. We had to give y'all the second president, but we're going to move on. I'm going to get that on out the way. Yes.
I'm not gonna go there.
Okay. So yes. Okay. So now we do this right here. Who are your people? So we go to you, Sister Pastor Lorenda. Who are your people?
What you mean? Who my people is?
You know how Black people do. We say, who are your people? So now when you're gonna talk about your family, who are your people? You know, he said, who are your people? Girl, who your people is? Boy, who your people is? You're like, oh, my people, Claude Lee, Evelyn Lee, such and so on. So yeah, we right over there. So yeah, for my people, that's what we do. Because I said, this is a family show right here. We family.
Well, my people is all of End Time Commission Church, Commission to Love, from way back in the day. The infamous, the most hated C2L. My people is the people of God. Anybody who is trying to do the will and trying to fulfill their purpose on earth while they're alive, so that nothing dies. So them is my people.
Okay. And Sister Consuelo, who are your people?
Baby, my people is
Baby.
my in-town commission church, my commission to love, campus ministries, of course, my starting line, my 5 kids, my husband and baby daddy,
Same thing.
my friend Lorinda J. King, the great doctor, and my friend Erica Ulysses, the great director.
And we can't forget Mary Kay. Woo woo.
That keep your skin on fleek.
And Sister Erica, who are your people?
My people, of course, is In Time Commission, C2L, woo woo.
Haitian, Haiti.
All my people from Haiti, my Haitians from
Sans
305.
Sans Pache.
Not Boule.
Talk about.
Those my people.
That's right. You see, that's why I throw that out there, folks. I want people to understand. But see, sometimes what we do, we have an issue. Many of us have an issue about where we're from. And that's why I'm asking that question. I want people to go and talk about it. I want people to say, if you're from Attapuckles, Georgia, I want people to see somebody from Attapuckles, Georgia doing something. If somebody's from Savannah, I want them to see people from Savannah. So what happens so often for many of us, we think nothing comes from what we are. So we ask that question about who your people, then we want to know who you are, who you connected to. So that way other people, when they listen to seeing this right here, they can be inspired to, wow, that's somebody from my neighborhood. That's somebody from my community. Because so often people give us other images about sometimes why we should not feel good about ourselves. And that's why I'm so glad when you say IET, IET, Mother Haiti, all right, that's what we represent. We let that be known because, again, it's about having pride. So now I ask this question, and we understand. We want to know, because we understand about the godly inspiration, but I want to know who inspired you. And we now go, Sister Erica, who inspired you?
Definitely Dr. King inspired me, I would say. Not to be cliche, but it's the truth. You know, her example, her leading, absolutely, definite inspiration.
All right.
And my community, my Haitian community.
All right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And Sister Consuelo, who inspires you? And you can have more than one inspiration, just let y'all know that. So, yes.
There's been several individuals who have played just great inspirational roles in my life. If I had to just pick a few, because it's hard to pick one,
Right.
I would say Dr. King.
We say several.
I would say Dr. King, because she's played a significant role in my life since I was 19 years old. And I'll never forget how she friended me, was my sister, bought me my first Bible that I could understand, and just showed me that I can really live a lifestyle that's pleasing to God, and I can be successful and, have worth. I would say my mom, because she always, would tell me to be confident and keep pressing, keep fighting, when things get hard, keep going. And my husband, because he doesn't give up. Even if it's hard, he faces it, gets through it. And I want to be like that as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's it. That's it. And Sister Reverend Dr. King, who inspired you?
Mine's probably going to sound a little different, but I think my inspiration, of course, is God. But my inspiration really is the people that have kind of gone before me, like generationally, like different age groups that did what they could do at their level and then they couldn't do anymore. Like I feel that pull to make sure that I complete what I'm supposed to do in my lifetime and make sure that I leave an open door for the next generation. So I would say it's everybody. There were several, people at Savannah State at one point. There's my pastor, Pastor Carolyn Burkhalter, strongest woman of God I ever seen in my life that's been through so much. Probably would be my parents who came from Robert Taylor Projects in Chicago. I mean, came from nothing and were the first entrepreneurs that I've ever seen growing up in California. So, and then of course, since I've been in the city, Alderman Shabazz, of course, you, Jamal, just people who are doing what they have to do as a citizen, but then also reaching back to their people. So anybody like that is like, it inspires me to say, well, am I doing all that I'm supposed to do, in my lifetime? So
yes.
I'm grateful to be African American. I'm so happy about just being black. It's not even funny. Like
Mm.
more so the last 5 or 10 years has been real strong. So I'm inspired by my skin too, because
Yes,
I have a work to do, So
yes, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. And
and the
Reverend,
people that I'm leading too. Sorry, I'm talking too long. Yeah, like
no problem.
the people that I'm leading, they keep me on track. When I look at them failing, they push me to not fail.
Mm,
Because
mm.
I don't want to have to stand before them because I faltered or messed up. And if I have to stand before the people I'm leading, I can't stomach that. And because of that, that pushes me.
Yes, yes, indeed. And to those of you checking out Run Tell That, we say share with everyone, share, pass the word. And again, Reverend Betty Jones made a mistake. She went and said something about Beach High School. Oh, I'm not supposed to say nothing about Beach or Savannah High. I forgot, I slipped up. And so yeah, so some of y'all will try to say something about Jenkins. Y'all understand that's Heaven B. Jenkins High School. And as I tell everybody, God is an alum of Jenkins High School. Understand that God is an alum of Jenkins High School. But that's a story for another day. I'm gonna leave that alone. So again, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to this. So we want to find out from you all what song give you that what song give you that inspiration, that that was something that give that motivation. So Sister Consuela, what song give you that give you that feeling? And
There
it could be
actually
song.
are.
I should say it could be songs. It doesn't have to be one song. It could be songs. It could be more than one.
There are like several. Like if I had to give you like
We
a
ain't talking
list,
about no
there are
5011 now.
several.
Okay, let's
But I will say the first song that actually came to mind when I heard this question was a song called "You Can't Stop Me" by Andy Mineo, because it's a song talking about you can't be stopped, but it's also talking about you can't stop you can't stop yourself. It's almost like it just reminded me of where the Bible says that greater is in you than that's in the world. Excuse me. Sometimes I've gotten to a point in my life where I wanted to draw back myself, and I had to realize that the Lord that's in me can conquer all things. He's victorious, so there's no need to be fearful. There's no need to not launch out into the deep. There's no need to feel unworthy, or because God is everything and he can do anything, and just trusting in him, and the sky is literally the limit. So I would have to say that was the first song that came to mind, but there are several.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Sister Erica, what song give you that that give you that inspiration, that motivation? Songs are songs.
Right, Haitian stuff.
You said what?
She be listening to that Haitian stuff. We be like, what are they
Oh,
saying?
that's fine. That's fine. That's what I'm saying.
I
That's what
love
we
it,
want.
but I don't know what they saying all the time.
Yeah, this is Creole, but again, it's still family. That's what I'm saying. But that's
Yeah.
what we want people to know. That's right. I think you're muted. I think you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
All right, good. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I definitely listen to the compa, which is like the Haitian music. Since like living in Savannah is not that big of a Haitian community compared to where I'm from in Miami, so just to stay grounded, stay okay in my culture, So definitely some compa music.
Okay. Yes, and Bernard Brown. It is not about Fort Valley, Bernard Brown. Please get on with that foolishness. So we will move on. We're gonna move on to my sister, Lorinda, Dr. King. What song give you that that inspiration?
Well, y'all know I'm do gospel radio too, so I got the tracks. So it's a song. It's an African it's an African gospel artist. He's amazing. His name is Angeloa. And he has a song called Open the Door. And you got to get the words because you have to understand what he's saying. But it's talking about God opening up the door. He's knocking at the door of our heart, like Coco, expose you to new things that you don't know and separate you from the enemy's chokehold. Oh, it's a good song. Talking about God having to break us down and get us to walk in our purpose while we're on this earth and not let the evil one hinder us through fear and through illiteracy and just different things, mind demons, cultural demons, anything that will stop us from allowing God to manifest the greatness of who we're supposed to be while we all live on this earth. And so he's saying, God, like, I'm opening the door to your heart. I've been knocking at your door to your heart. I've been knocking at the door. And it's, you know, like, so the enemy won't choke us, choke the life for what we're supposed to do. So that's what I've been killing. Like every day I've tried to listen to it after prayer until I memorized it, you know, because I believe that when we get ready to raise up, I have a statement with Mary Kay's, raise up so others can rise. And if you don't raise up, if I don't raise up, then I have a whole slew of people behind me that are inspired by me that I may not know, that will never raise up if you don't rise up. So
Yes,
it's something that I say in Mary Kay. So we have to deal with the inner demons and the different, which is, you know, why we started school, but the different things that's stopping us internally don't have anything to do with anybody else. We worry about what people say, worried about people will think, and they become vices on our minds. And then when we have this greatness that we're supposed to manifest, it's like you can't do it. Like you speak negative against it, or you allow the things that people say to just shrink you. And we ain't made to shrink, you know, we're not made to shrink. So.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that's one of the things we share with folks is we tell folks that we have no fear of man or woman because we love God. When you love God, you have no fear of man or woman. In addition, we tell people that no child is an accident. All of us are ordained to be here. We all have divine purposes in our lives. We all have divine purposes. So what I'm hearing from you all, it fits right into what we talk about with regard to run, tell that, to empower people, to inform people, and to enlighten people. So people understand what they should be doing, again, fulfilling their destinies. And it's not just one destiny you have. You have several destinies that are divine destinies, and you must go forward with regards to those purposes, divine purposes. So now that's what we come to this point right here. So, to my sister, Reverend Dr. King, what is Remnant Kinship Academy? What is that? And we're going to go to all three, the rest of you, all of you. So what is it?
Well, Remnant Kinship Academy, it was actually, the vision of it came in the student center at Savannah State, in the cafeteria table that sits right in front of the drinks. We used to sit there all the time. And we all, you know, were talking one day, and I had this feeling that came on because I was in the learning support program, which I really need to talk about that, because Savannah State had a learning support program and they got rid of it. And I need to figure out how to rally to get that back, because if it wasn't for the Learning Support Center at Whiting Hall, Consuela and I were in the reading comprehension program because we couldn't pass the test. I have my own brilliance, attention deficit, okay? I have dyslexia, and I have a doctorate. But that program helped me face all my fears at 27 years old. I came to college older, and they worked with me. And I would not be a doctor today if it wasn't for that. And they got rid of that program, and we have to do something about that. But anyway, that's another subject. But I had this, you know, situation that happened where I finally passed the math competency test. I almost didn't pass the last one. And so we were in there talking and, you know, sharing about how good God was, that I passed the test and I wasn't going to get kicked out of school. And I was like, we need to have a school for young people that may not test well, but are brilliant concerning the right brain, concerning the arts, concerning creativity. Because as a Black people, we are very, very creative, very, very creative. And I've always been that way. But because I was in the school system in California, it's a little higher out of the 50 states. So I was just kind of left out. I was not very smart. I went to Florida High School, but it was because I couldn't test well. And I had some learning. I learned different. And because of that, they put your girl in 7th grade where we switched periods. They put me in a class with the children that were mentally retarded. Because at that time, we lost them. Should we keep talking? We lost them. Are we still alive? Hey, we still alive? Hey. He said yes. Well, I'll keep talking because I know I went to Savannah State and broadcasting, so we're going to keep it going until he comes back. So ultimately, we all sat around the cafeteria, and the campus ministry that I had started was like, well, you know what, if you start a school, I'm gonna help. And then sat, and she said, well, I'll teach, and another person said they'll teach, and we all said, you know what, we're gonna do this. And we felt the presence of the Lord. It fell on us, and there he is. We kept going. We felt the presence of the Lord. It fell on us, and it at that moment in Savannah State at the cafeteria, we were going to start a school, and it was called the Remnant at the time Christian Academy, because we were Christians and we felt like children needed to have a right to be free to love God and not be teased or persecuted for that. And then the hope was that we can get the kids that maybe the school district don't want or say that something's wrong with them, and bring them together and have them on a platform where they can actually use their artistic gifts through singing, through dance, through the arts, along with the academics. And there he is again. And possibly have an environment where these kids can be great. And so that's where the word remnant comes from. I think we're just gonna keep going. Remnant, it means it's the ones that people didn't necessarily want, or it's the small chosen few. You still there, boss?
I'm here. Something
You're
happened
there.
because I'm on this Georgia Southern campus. If I was at Savannah
Hey.
State, it wouldn't happen. Yeah. That would happen if I'm at Savannah State. But if I'm in Savannah, let me correct it. If I'm in Savannah, I'm trying to figure out. Also, I had to go on my iPhone. I'm trying to figure out what's happened to Samsung. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We appreciate it because we still got you right here on our other screens. But
Okay.
now I need to find out from Sister Erica, why would you become a director of a school?
You said why?
Why? That's what I'm saying. Why? Why would you become a director of Remnant Kinship Academy? Why would you do that?
Definitely the Lord. I could tell you a quick testimony into even why I really did it. When I went to FAM, of course, and C2L, we had a campus ministry there as well. That's how I met Dr. King and everyone. And when I first joined, I had a dream that I was working at a private school. And I was working at a private school. Fast forward about 9 years later, the school manifests. So that's one reason why, because the Lord showed me that I was going to be doing this. So just in obedience, which at first I was like, okay, Lord, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know if I'm capable, but that's not what it's about. If the Lord tell you to do something, you got to do it, because it's not about whether you feel like you have all the answers or you capable of doing it, but through God's spirit, and definitely because Dr. King asked me to, and that's my pastor. That's like, that's when you being loyal to somebody, you know what I mean? Like anyone else, but definitely because the Lord showed me, and I love kids. I love working with kids. It's an amazing opportunity, but that's my why. Because the Lord showed me about 8 years ago, before this school, I didn't know nothing about this school. So what Dr. King is talking about, when they told her about the school, I wasn't even saved. So when I came in, nobody told me about it. The Lord clearly showed me that I was going to work at a private school within our church. So that's my why. One of my whys. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
She made us wait 4 years.
I did. I did. I was scared, but
So, and now we move on to something. And with regards to saying scared, because sometimes there is a fear. And that's why now we're going to come to my sister Consuela. Why would you go and put your children in a school that is not a part of the public school system? Why would you go and do that? Because for some people, they'll be fearful of that, but they're not only with regard to putting your children in the school, but why would you work at a school like that?
That is a great question, because I'm on both sides of that.
That's right.
All 5 of my children, from kindergarten to 6th grade, attend the school, and they were attending public schools in the beginning, and I was actually a substitute teacher as I was finishing school during that time. But for me, it's personal because I have 5 kids, and of course the parent is the child's first teacher, and all of my kids were on different levels. And excuse me, the public school system had kind of separated them based on their abilities. and classified them based on those. And I had, a child and gifted, one that was really struggling in reading, one that his determination just wasn't where it needed to be. And then I had, an overachiever. And based upon those classifications that they received in the public school, it caused division amongst them in the home.
Okay.
And for me, it was really tough trying to be everywhere, do everything, work there. And, one of my kids was kind of dealing with some level of bullying. And there were also instructors who, would really talk down to them and treated them as they weren't as equal as some of the other children. Because the school they went to was in a pretty good area. And, you had different names, different family names of children that went there. And to be honest, they weren't given the same opportunities as some of those other students. And because I was a substitute and I worked there, I really already was struggling with, as a parent, I was struggling. And also, as part of the staff as well, because I didn't like some of the other things that I did see, the lack of the passion there for the students who needed more help. There just aren't enough accommodations for them. A lot of teachers were doing so much paperwork and they were frustrated because they could not give the students the time that they needed. And there were so many other things. And when I got the opportunity, I was actually going to get hired on, and Dr. King approached me, with a job opportunity. And I was really blessed because I said, when I actually came and I started working here, I could actually, the passion that was in me to teach kids and to oversee to make sure that they get the accommodations they need, there's room here and opportunity for them. And there weren't at the public school. And my children, they're able to be taught on the levels that they're on, whether some of them may struggle. And then I have a daughter who's an overachiever. They all get what they need, and there's no divisions among them. They see themselves as one unit. They see themselves as none greater or less than, not because of their educational level, but they're able to stretch their wings and grow from where they are and be satisfied and be on one accord as siblings. And we're able to be on one accord as a family. And I'm able to see that happen in other families and watch kids really have the modifications that they need and start reading. I've seen a child who, she came here, the public school was trying to hold her back. And she actually, when she read for the first time, I seen her father cry real tears. And to me, that's worth more than any paycheck that I could earn. Is to see a child come in struggling, her confidence wasn't where it needed to be. Even my own son struggled with his reading. He's in a B average now when he was like at a D average in his reading. His confidence has gone up. And he said, "Mom, I'm so glad that I could go to school here because I feel safe. I don't have to worry about kids bringing guns to school. I love my instructor. He's so confident." And for him, that's half the battle.
Yes.
And there's so much more, but it's just being able to, hug parents and I worked in the public school, actually in the front office, and there was a parent, she came in and she was just crying. She didn't know what to do. Her daughter was, showing signs of abuse in the home, and, it was just a lot. And I wanted to wrap my arms around her, but because of where I worked, I was unable to do that. And I was reprimanded for that. But here I can wrap my arms around a parent because as a parent myself, I understand what it feels like to not have what your child needs. But where do I take them? Who can help me with them? I'm the mother and I feel responsible, but I'm not the teacher. I'm the mother. I'm responsible for their education, but I may not be the one called to educate them. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So I can truly understand, a parent that's really struggling. And sometimes you need somebody to be able to wrap their arms around you and tell you it's all right if you don't have the answers. It's okay if you need help with your child, because at the end of the day, you're the mother. You may not be able to be the teacher, or you're the father. You may not have it all together. You may be struggling in your marriage or whatever you're going through, and your child may need some help, because I've been through that as well. my kindergartner, he struggled and he got behind because I had some things going on and I was getting ministered to. My husband and I, we were in counseling with, our pastors, Dr. King and her husband, and I just really needed help with him. And for him to come here and get what he need, that's the reason why I work here, because I want other families to receive that same blessing that my family has received. And whatever I have to go through to be a part of that, I'm willing and I'm so grateful.
And so I say this to all of you who are looking at this, share, let other people understand this. And to those of you part of Run Tell That family, some of y'all sometimes question some things. And this is why, and the question I was going to pose to them, we got a bunch of schools here. Why we need to have a school? And what Sister Consuela just shared with you all, that's why we need to have the school. That's why we need to have the Remnant Kinship Academy. That's what we need to have it. But now, Sister Elise, I need to find out from you, where is the school located at? Where is the academy located at? And what are the grade levels? Because we have some of our people out there who want to know what are the grade levels and where is the school located?
Erica, you said
yes, Sister Erica. Yes, Sister Erica. I said this other thing, but last name Ulysses. But yeah, go ahead, Sister Erica.
It's okay. We're located off of 1402 Millsby Lane Boulevard, known as the old Sears warehouse. People have been saying here in Savannah. We're from pre-K to 12th grade. So that's one thing about our school. We do all grades. This is actually our first year doing pre-K. And we're off of 1402 Millsby Lane, the huge warehouse. You can come in, you'll see the banners that say Remnant Kinship Academy. And you can also log into our website, remnantchristianacademy.com. We're in the process of transitioning to Remnant Kinship Academy, but for right now it's remnantchristianacademy.com. And every information you need is on that website concerning tuition, concerning our staff, concerning our faculty, just more in depth about the curriculum that we use. We go by the ABECA curriculum. So anything else you need to know is on there. If you want to donate as well, that's on the website. So remnantchristianacademy.com, and it's soon to be remnantkinshipacademy.com.
Right, and that's what we want to let folks know. How can people get information? How can people join with you? How can people obtain the services? Again, how can they support? And so we'll make sure we put that out there again, how people can support, how they can obtain the services, how they can then get that experience of having a school system, or having a school, or having an academy that is concerned about the children and concerned about the family, that is holistic. Because they're not just learning about themselves, the family is right there. And again, Sister Consuela said it right there. So now, Sister Reverend Dr. King, I ask you this question. Is everyone welcome to go to school there?
Well, absolutely. You are welcome. We especially if you have IEPs as well. Because if you're a parent and you think, my child is getting in trouble. When I was in school, I got in trouble a lot. And it was because I was struggling with my reading. So if you're having behavior problems with your child, it's probably because they're embarrassed that they, because in my mind, my mind switches letters and I switch numbers. And so when I would get called on in school, I would be talking and, passing notes because I was embarrassed that I wasn't learning the way everyone else was. So your child may need to be in a different environment, a smaller classroom. Don't let the public school system drug your kids, because the public school gets money every time you get a label and then you put them pills in your kid's mouth. The public school gets money. Okay. You're gonna have to do what you got to do, but all kids are welcome. We don't care. My son is actually, I have a son that's adopted as Filipino, and he came to live with my husband and I. The awesome Pastor Christopher King, and he was, abandoned, and at 11 years old, suicidal, and was going to a junior high school here and was being bullied because he was Filipino at an all-black school. So he came to live with us, and this baby graduated. He's one of the second graduates of Remnant Kinship Academy. And Destiny Ackerman is one of the first ones. She's at Georgia Southern now, third year, straight A's. My son graduated with 3.5. So all your children are welcome. It's just they're probably going to need some discipline. They're going to need that family, that home type of feeling. We don't hit your kids, but we do discipline them. We do make sure that they understand that they're kings and they're queens and that they have a purpose here on the earth. But Just so you know, I wanted to give you the statistics because I know it's important that we know. But according to the U.S. News and World Reports, do you know that Savannah, in Georgia in particular, is ranked 34 out of 50 schools in the United States? You know, we don't have where our schools really are failing. And so, I mean, that's really important. And then also to know that 31% of the test scores of students in our city, they're not proficient in math as well as reading. 31%. And these are statistics that you can find under Chatham County. So these are really serious things we got to, think about. So your kids, working the extra time, paying for private school, I know that's rough. Start an entrepreneur business on the side. Do whatever you have to do, pour into your kids, because my parents they didn't know what to do about my learning disability in 19, I'm old, 47. So back then they didn't know in 88 what to do because the school district wasn't keen on learning disabilities. They didn't know what to do. So all your children, are welcome, so go to the website. We have funded this school by selling skincare. So the way you can help us as well is contact us. If you see a pink Cadillac, if you see a Mary Kay car, and they're with La Embassy, any purchase that you buy, 26% of it goes to the school. So don't turn us away. Buy some lipstick. Buy some skincare. Take care of your skin because that's how we funded this. That's how we funded the school. So.
You need to say the name again because they can go to any Mary Kay. You just say, and I want the people out there to hear which group of Mary Kay, which one did you say?
La Nation. La Nation. You can see it on their cars. It'll be like
La Nation. Yeah. When you said that,
La Embassy, anything that has a La in front of it, because we are the first Mary Kay unit that wants to be the first African American national in coming from the Low Country. Like they've never had an African American one. So that's what we're pushing for. But if anything that you see La Rejuvenation, we have La on the front of all of our units. So any one of those are fine. You're welcome to come. I'm La Embassy. You see my pink Cadillac, just stop me in the streets. I got product in the trunk. But I give the money goes to this school because we have a TV station here on campus. We have a radio station. We have a music studio that's actually 85. It's the largest music studio we actually have in Savannah outside of Dad's production. But we can fit a Mississippi Mass Choir in here, So we want our kids like write songs. They know how to do Fruity Loops. They're brilliant outside of their schooling. They have their own TV show. And go to the website because we have a video that shows some of the things that they do to arts.
Wonderful. Now I gotta say this to y'all. See now, Sister Dr. King, she's trying to be funny. Now she's saying we like 34 in the state of Georgia. The state of Georgia is 34 out of 50 states. Guess what? We used to be like at 48. So now she's trying to knock us. She's trying to make us feel bad. She's trying to move. And then some of y'all know, because Chatham County was like at the bottom when we was in the 48. We was at the bottom. So that's why you gotta have schools like Remnant. That's why you gotta have schools like that. You gotta have schools like that because see, some of us we brush it on off and not even understand it. So that's why now I'm gonna go with Sister Consuela. I gotta ask this right here. So what are you? Which I'm gonna throw it out to all of you, to Director Erica also. What are you all trying to achieve with regards to the student, the family, and community? What are y'all trying to achieve?
I say the biggest thing that we're trying to achieve is educate the total child. And we want to make an impact on the entire family and community because it's difficult to just single-handedly educate a child without ministering and being available to the entire family. And once you do that, you'll have an impact within the community and beyond. So it's A's and B's, yeah. But it's also being able to impact the entire family and make a difference on a large scale. And we feel like every child should have the opportunity to be great.
Mm,
and to
mm.
understand their purpose and to have an opportunity to walk that purpose out and be given the tools they need and the support they need to be able to go forth.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely, absolutely. And so, Director Erica, I'll throw it out there to you with regard to this. What are your goals for them? What are your goals for them? What are you trying to create with them?
Whew. I think coming from the public school and going into Remnant Kinship Academy, one thing I know was really missing was those students knowing that they can be all things that they want to be. Anything they put their minds to, that they can be it, and somebody really letting them believe that, that one thing, that one word, like, you can do this. Like, my goal is for the kids is to let them know they can do whatever, they put their minds to. And even the parents, I've met parents in the public school who didn't know there were opportunities, or the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child, really manifesting that, knowing that, okay, I'm not just a teacher, but I'm here for you. I want to be here for you. Like, here at Remnant, it's like, we're here. We're not just the faculty. We're not just the staff. We're the family, So that's the goal here, is to let, like, similar to what Mrs. Harmon said, is let family know, parents know, students know, we're more than a school. We're a family. We're a movement, so that's the goal.
Yes, 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 ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's it. And with regards to fulfilling goals and achievements, that sometimes there's a sacrifice and there's some things that come in the way. And so that's why, to my sister, Reverend Dr. King, what have been some of the obstacles that you all have been able to successfully navigate through? Because I want the audience out there, we are talking about Remnant Kinship Academy, a private school that's here in the city of Savannah, Chatham County, that's open to everyone. So what is something I want people to understand? It wasn't hunky-dory for them. It was a sacrifice that had to be made. So we want you to share with us. And if y'all want to chime in also, Sister Erica and Sister Consuelo, you can do that. But Sister Reverend Dr. King, what was some of the obstacles? And you heard me go and say this to the audience. I said they had obstacles, but they were able to navigate through it. It didn't stop them.
Well, most of the obstacles always is going to be ourselves. Coming from a situation where what you feel about yourself, the Bible says, "So a man thinketh, so he is." So when you have warfare, or you have different things that come up against a great vision, especially if you're a visionary, the obstacles that I had was, am I good enough? Do I have a right to do this? Is anybody going to receive it? Because I have had a rough patch coming through Savannah when I first moved here. Even in the community, and just saying, well, who's going to help us? Nobody's going to help us. Nobody's going to give us a chance. We're too young. And so the goal was to make sure that we were educated and we met the standard concerning being wise in the earthly realm and having the education where it needed to be. And so that's where we were quiet. We was in school. We were doing what we needed to do and preparing. But we have almost 70 kids that came out of our ministry, 70 children, you know what I mean? And so some of the obstacles were, okay, where are we going to get the money to do this? Because we couldn't find a building. And, God used, somebody to give us this building. And then it was a raggedy building on the west side. Like, I'm talking about gutted out. You're like, what? But when I saw it, I was like, I can see it, So then it's like, how do you bring that vision to life? So then there were times where I cried and I wept and I was frustrated with God. And I'm like, why you give me this vision? And it's, in 2004 and in Savannah State. And here we are in 2022. And I'm like, how am I going to pay for it? I don't have the money. I'm in school full time. I was knocking out my master's, with learning disabilities. Then I went into my doctorate at South University. I'm like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? And then I have all these young people that are full of life and just energy, and they don't believe because of their cultural demons. Because we came out of slavery, it's only been 3 generations. So you have things where you feel like, well, the enemy, he don't want you to feel like you can come above and do anything like that. You can't school. How you gonna fund it? And so funding was a big thing. I was like, Lord, I don't know how to make this happen. Sunday service come, the offering come through. We rubbing 2 pennies together. Like, what I'm gonna do with this? You know, and you can't ever stop a vision because you don't have support. And so there wasn't necessarily people that really was feeling us. They kind of like, I don't know about them, you know. And so you just have to keep. So a lot of the difficulty was getting past myself, you know, and then believing God, because I knew Erica would be like the director, but she was like caught up with that paycheck, you know, having to work, you know, to get that paycheck. And
yes, ma'am.
School, and I knew she wasn't happy. And then I knew different people would be awesome, but I had to wait years for them to hear from God. Okay, this is something. And I did. I approached them. I said, did you pray about it? Pray about, you know, the school, you know, just pray about it, you know. And sometimes I didn't think it was going to happen. You know, the kids were there. But I'm like, okay, who gonna pay? Who are we gonna pay the secretary? How are we gonna pay the administrator? How are we gonna pay for this? You know, and I'm thinking, my brain was like, Lorinda, you're dyslexic. What do you know? What are you gonna do? You can't do this. You can't do this. You got too much stuff going on, you know. But the Lord just impressed upon me the next generation. Like, if I don't leave a legacy, then it don't make sense of me being Black. What was the point in the 2022? Like, what's the point? Like, so. You know, just having to just believe and say, God, you're going to literally bring the resources. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I'm going to do the natural things that I need to do. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to make sure that when the man come through here and check through and to give me my accreditation, do I have all my T's and my I's dotted? So that's my response. That's your responsibility. Our responsibility is do the natural things. Faith without works is dead. So I had to just make sure that I deal with Lorinda and who Lorinda and her tribe and, you know, her clan, and say, okay, y'all, come on. If this is what you believe in, I had to let people go. You don't feel like this where you called to be, we release you, go somewhere else. But this is what we're doing over here, you know? So I think the money thing was a big thing, finances and faith, that God was going to do it. That's why I was shocked at Mary Kay. I'm like, I'm going to pay for this with selling skincare. I'm like, man, these people in the city don't want to hear about Mary Kay. They're going to be like, that's a white lady. What does she know about melanin? You know? But we got to be obedient to the leading of God. And I'm so glad I said, yeah. I mean, you're talking $80,000 to refurbish this building.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
well,
ma'am.
We don't owe anybody anything. I just thank God for my husband, my king, that let me sow this money and did not give me no hard time. Like, I went to him on my knees, like, baby, this is what God's saying, please. And he was like, that's what you feel like God's saying, let's do it, you know. So writing them checks, I was like, I could do a lot with this, you know. But why not change generations that you may not never meet? You know, so those were some of the obstacles, and I know that y'all probably had some too.
Well, actually, I gotta throw this out there. See, Run Tell That is the little brother show of all the ATR shows. We're the little brother show. Everybody else has 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours. Our show has only 57 minutes. That's based on the producer, who's a hater, because he hates having B. Jenkins High School. But anyway, so what the deal is, so, you know, because our time is coming down, but I now need to ask this question of y'all. What is the happiness that you all feel, and you from your experience with regards to all this, what is the happiness, what is the joy that you all get with regards to this right here? So, Sister Consuelo, what's the happiness or the joy that you get? And then we'll call Sister Erica, then Sister Lorinda, our great reverend, our pastor, our leader. Go ahead.
Oh, man, the joy and the happiness that I get. I'm just so grateful. I mean, there's really no other words but grateful that I can just be a vessel, you know, that can be used and just be able to have a purpose, you know. And as I said, to see a child gain, you know, ground in their education and their purpose and their creativity, that means more to me than any amount of money. I mean it. And I'm so grateful.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Y'all heard it. And again, we're talking about Remnant Kinship Academy right there on Millsby Lane, again, doing great work. And so, Sister Erica, what is the happiness or the joy that you get with regard to the work that you're doing at Remnant Kinship Academy?
I get the joy of knowing that I have been a part of starting something dynamic. I mean, it's just mind blowing. And it's personal too, especially like I said, going back to the Haitian community, that's not a usual thing. So to know that stepping out the box, that's huge. And I hope that my community, the Haitian community, will see that. But coming every day to work, no barriers, no blocking, no limits. I love it. It's amazing. And that's just it's amazing. It's awesome.
That's right. That's right. I had to, before we go into our sister, Reverend Dr. King, I'm gonna just Dr. Robert Bryant is a hater. Nobody talking about no Windsor Forest. Nobody care about no Windsor Forest. Get out there for it. That's because you live on Liberty City across from Remnant Kinship Academy. That don't mean nothing. We got love for them, but we ain't got no love for no Windsor like that. So, okay. I had to have a moment. Okay, all right. So again, my sister, Reverend Dr. King, what is the happiness and the joy that doggone Robert Bryant?
Well, leave him alone. He represents. Well, I wanted to say this, and I wanted to say this to you, Jamal, because you said something to me a few years ago when we were at the African American Festival, and you said that we represented Ujima, and the collective work and the responsibility. That's when something really took part in my heart, because I know that that's what God, in through his word, he requires of us, as a people, and something really like did something for me. So what makes me happy is that not only is it responsibility in the kingdom of God to uplift his children, as the scripture says, better is a noose around your neck than if you harm these little ones. And so the collective work and the responsibility that I have been doing, it gave me a jolt to be like, that is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's my life's calling, and I have to continue to be grateful that when I wake up, because somebody killed themselves. Miss America, beautiful black woman, jumped off the dang on bridge because she didn't feel like she had purpose, And so what makes me happy when I hear those children, like when I come into the school and I hear those kids and they are doing, worshiping, and they're studying and they're rapping and they're singing and they're dancing and they're making clothes and they're also getting their grades. It's like, I feel like when I stand before God, he's going to be like, you did what I needed you to do. So I just want to thank you for always teaching us as a people to not forget where we come from and what our responsibility is. And it is a collective work that we should do to maintain the responsibility that we hold for us and our people, because we have to elevate and we have to rise into 2022. We're not there yet. We have to keep doing our part because we're alive in this time period. So that's my happiness, to know that I'm doing something for the next generation collectively and I'm taking responsibility. So, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, Sister Erica, for those who are listening right now, be looking at the show, how can people get in touch with Remnant Kinship Academy, and what's the website that people can support also?
The website is remnantchristianacademy.com, and it'll soon change to Remnant Kinship Academy, but it's remnantchristianacademy.com. And we are located 1402 Millsby Lane Boulevard, right across the Liberty City Community Center. We're right in the heart of Liberty City. So that's where you can reach us.
West side.
Whoop, whoop.
That's right. That's what I'll be talking about. That's right. Not no Windsor Forest. It's West Side in the house. West Side in the house.
The 5th district, baby.
That's what you're talking about. That's what you're talking about. So, Sister Consuela, what do you want a parent to know? A parent to come there, pretty much give you about 30 seconds to let a parent know, any parents who want to become a part of the family of Remnant Kinship Academy.
You are welcome, and we can't wait to love on you and educate your child. And we love you.
That's right. That's right. And so we're going to close out with our sister, the great minister, the one with the word, to give the people the inspiration that they need to take with them, not just for today, but for even for the rest of the year.
Do what God told you to do. Stop being a punk. Stop lying that you don't want to be great. It's nothing prideful or arrogant about stepping up and being great. And there's nothing ugly about your reflection when you look in the mirror. And do what you are called to do in this earth. And death before dishonor. Do not dishonor the reason why you're alive. And let's do what we need to do. There's a dream inside of you. There's nothing holding you. There's nothing stopping you but you. So let's
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We appreciate it. Do y'all know somebody named Naima Thomas?
Yeah.
She be bothering me. I'm let y'all know that. I'm telling her right now. I'm putting it out in the book. She be bullying me. She be bullying me. I let y'all know that. So I told her I will let y'all know this. Oh my God! Thank God.
She bullied us too.
Huh?
She messed with us too.
Then y'all ain't no help. Okay, all right.
She be bullying us too. I'm like a mama to her, and I'd be like, Lord, here she comes.
So y'all ain't no help. Y'all can't save me. Oh God. Okay.
Well, we love her though. We love her.
Again, so we're glad to have you all on here. Again, we're gonna need to have you all back. And again, because it's some other work too that y'all doing. We want to talk about Mary Kay, how it's empowering, and what y'all have been doing is a machine that's operating to again help the entire community, help individuals, but then families and also community. We're going to have them back on here again. Glad to have you all. We give the honor to the Most High. Again, appreciate y'all. And to the Run Tell That family, share, and support Remnant Kinship Academy right on Millsby Lane on the west side. Peace and blessings.